Hello and welcome to No There's Only Trash Here podcast, episode 41. The date today is the 2nd of February 2014. Now that doesn't really mean that much to, me and you, Joe. But over in old America, they must be going nuts, because it's the Super Bowl! Whee!
Yay!
I mean, I already mentioned it last week that I've got money on the Seahawks. Alright, I think they're a good team. I've read on the internet, I think they're good. So hopefully they're going to win. But as we also mentioned last week, we're recording this before the Super Bowl. So you guys will know if I lost money and if I'm upset. But we don't quite yet.
When you picked the Seahawks, who did the Simpsons pick? I know the Simpsons picked someone. They predicted it.
Oh, the Simpsons picked someone. What, for this year?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea, but the favourites are the Denver Broncos.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going for the underdog here.
Oh, that's nice.
But I put money on that when there was 8 teams in the league, and back then the Seahawks were the favourite, but then the Broncos came in and destroyed. So now I'm like, oh god, I hope the Seahawks win. That would be nice.
Why don't we have cool names, team names?
I don't know, but there are a lot of dumb names as well. Like, the basketball team for Washington is called the Washington Wizards. And there was, other ones as well, but... I don't know what, we got Manchester United.
Yeah, but, even their nicknames, I don't know what football nicknames there are. The Gunners.
No, that's Arsenal.
Yeah, well, not just in general. Or that's crap. We want cool animals and stuff. Oh no, the Tigers is Hull.
Oh, wait. So does every football team over here have their own nickname then?
I think so, more or less.
Because the only one I know is Gunners, and that's because in My Family, the sitcom, Robert Lindsay likes Arsenal, and when he's drunk, he keeps going Gunners. That's the only reason I know that.
Isn't Manchester United the Red Devils?
Sure.
Actually, no. If you kind of think of it, we have got reasonably cool ones, I suppose.
I mean, Red Devils is kind of lame, though. Why would you put the red in there? They're just the Devils. The Devils red. People know this.
To avoid confusion, maybe there are alternate Devils.
What, the Green Devils are the other team that they're rivals with?
Yeah, Manchester City.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Although I think they're blue, aren't they?
The Blue Devils.
Yeah, the Blue Devils.
Let's get off football, because I don't know anything about it, really.
Yeah, I'm very sorry for starting with sports. I mean, when somebody tunes into a video game podcast, the last thing they want to hear is sports.
Yeah.
It would be like if in a normal sports podcast, just 1 week, they're like, so, E3 was this week, let's have a look.
Just imagine on Sky Sports they started talking about that. People would just start throwing things at the TV. Yeah.
As Wayne Rooney goes for the kick, I just want to mention the new Last of Us DLC is coming out, and it's looking great.
Throw the mug at the TV.
Yeah, just boo it away.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Now, do you want to talk about the big video game news, which isn't that big, or the big movie news first?
Let's go with video games first.
Okay, that's a smart choice.
Yeah.
We just started with sports. Let's get back into the video games.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest news this week is about Microsoft. There hasn't been that many big kind of announcements this week, but I think the biggest one is that Microsoft has brought the rights to Gears of War series from Epic Games. And this confused me, because I just assumed that Microsoft had the rights to Gears of War. Isn't that how every publisher deal works? They publish the game, but they get all the rights, so they get to control it. But apparently that's not the deal they signed, so now Microsoft do officially have the Gears of War series. And the consequence of this is that Epics are no longer making them, and instead that the Gears of War series is going to a new studio called Black Tusk. And I say new because they were mentioned at E3 during the Xbox One conference as Black Tusk, they're making a video game, but they've never made a game before apparently, and now, as well as making that other game for the Xbox One, they're now making a new Gears of War for Xbox One as well. And I don't really know what to make of this because, like I mentioned, Black Tusk are like a new studio. Like, nobody knows who they really are. They're just a studio that Microsoft just made to make Xbox One titles, and until they prove themselves to be good at making video games, I got no opinion on them.
I'm vaguely remember. I'm sure I vaguely remember us talking about them when it was the whole E3 stuff. Because they were like, who are they?
Yeah,
what are they doing?
That was they mentioned that they were making a game and just put this name on screen. And at the time, I assumed that was like, oh, okay, that's Black Tusk. They must be a pretty big deal. I've never heard of them, but they must be pretty good. But no, it's just a studio that Microsoft made in, I think, Vancouver, Canada, if their Wikipedia page is to be believed. But now they're the new guys for Gears of War, and I guess that's fine. I mean, I guess they can't mess up any more than Epic and People Can Fly did with Gears of War Judgment, because that game wasn't great. I didn't like it.
I love their Wikipedia page. It's under the game section. It's unannounced game, TBA. Next Gears of War, TBA. That's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's nothing.
However, I don't particularly care too much about this because I don't like Gears of War games.
Oh, what, you just flat out don't like them?
I played one and I didn't like it.
Oh, when you say one, do you mean the original game?
Yeah.
See, I do like Gears of War. I think they're really great co-op games. So did you play it co-op?
Yeah, we played it co-op and it was just like, maybe I wasn't in the right mindset, but because I'm sure the fun of those games is just shooting big aliens and stuff. But I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, this is dull. This is dumb. The only thing I like about those games is it has Bender doing the voice.
Oh.
Or the guy who does the voice of Bender.
What, the main Marcus guy? It's like,
yeah, John DiMaggio.
Good for him for doing a different voice for once. I'm proud.
Yeah, that's the only plus it has for me.
Yeah, no, they're good games. They're worth checking out. Like, you can get Gears of War 2 for nothing. And I think that's one of the better ones. Because the first Gears of War was more like a horror-ish kind of tones over the top of it. Everything was like very, just towards that way. But then Gears of War 2, they went a bit more, I don't know, you can just kind of pick up and play Gears of War 2 a lot easier, so. But then you don't really like third-person shooters in general, so I'm not going to tell you to go play it, because you probably won't like any of the other ones.
Yeah. How old is it?
2006 was the first one.
Oh, that's quite old. Was that like one of the first games to come out for Xbox?
It was in the second year, but it was in that second year where the 360 was like, right, here's some crazy new exclusives, and here's the reasons to buy the 360. So Gears of War was like the big new, like, look how powerful our console is, and look at all this violence and cool stuff, buy our systems, and it worked pretty well.
Am I right in thinking that Gears of War was the game that kind of started the whole horde mode stuff?
Well, yes
or made it
and
more
no.
popular?
Some people would argue that. I wouldn't. But Gears of War 2 had a horde mode. That came out in 2008. But in the same year, and I think technically before Gears of War 2, I might be wrong, Call of Duty World at War came out, and that had zombies mode.
Yeah.
So I would argue that that was the game, World at War, that made that mode popular, not Gears of War 2.
I would agree as well, because I played that Call of Duty. I did not play Gears of War.
It's just, for some reason, I think they took the name Horde mode from Gears of War 2 because it's more generic. Like, if you call it Zombies mode, it has to have zombies in it. But if you call it Horde mode, then suddenly you can just have whatever monster in the fray and you just have to shoot loads of them in waves.
Alright, okay. Well, so do you, like, still look forward to Gears of War games?
No. The original 3 were really solid games, had a lot of fun with them. I thought the third one was great and a great, like, finale to the trilogy. And then they just made Judgment, which was like every series, with every game that comes out in a video game franchise, it's just fighting off being stale and boring and the same thing again. And they did a good job with the first 3. And then Judgment came out and it was just more of the same again. And all of the changes they made were just bad. Like, not flat out bad, but didn't really improve the game in any way or the formula. So I think the fact that they kind of ran the game series into the ground is why I no longer care about Gears of War. Like, the only thing the Xbox One could really add is better graphics, and even then, it's like, who really cares? They're horrible mutant alien creatures. It doesn't matter if they look slightly better. So I think that series is kind of done, but maybe these new guys can do something with it. But if they do, I don't care, because I'm not getting an Xbox One.
Was that really the biggest news story?
I would argue, yeah, in gaming.
Huh.
I
Just
mean,
someone we have no idea who they are is making a game which I'm sure some people... I mean, I'm guessing you're not the only one who found Judgment to be poor.
it got, like, critically it did okay, but nowhere near as good as the first three. But I don't.
Okay,
nothing else kind of really happened, or not as big. I mean, we're building up to big things kind of happening again, but during January, it's usually kind of dead.
I can't believe it's February already.
Yeah, February 2nd.
I won't get into more Debbie Downer time stuff. Let's move on.
Yes, but either way, well, when I decided not to get an Xbox One and be, like, definitive about it, one of the things I thought was, like, right, what are the games that I really enjoyed on the 360? Because that was the console I played the most this generation. And I was like, okay, Halo. Oh, Halo 4 wasn't very good, but it got a lot of good reviews, so now that's going to be the direction they're going in. I'm done with Halo. And then it's Fable. Oh, Fable 3 and Fable Legends looks terrible, and Fable The Journey. I'm done with Fable. And then it was Gears of War. Oh, they made Gears of War Judgment, and now Epic wants nothing to do with the franchise. Good. Done with Gears of War. So it was like I went through every franchise that I enjoyed that's an exclusive on Microsoft systems, and they're all pretty much dead to me. So if I'm going to be convinced to get an Xbox One, it has to be based off new franchises.
I love that. They are dead to you.
They are.
It's not like you don't like them. You're going to the extreme here. They are dead to you.
Well, listen, Halo 4 is mediocre. It's dead to me. It's done.
So what are Epic Games doing then if they're no longer tied to that franchise?
Well, I think they're going to be doing a Bungie where they're like, okay, we're going to have this big Epic project that looks like Halo, but it's not Halo though. It's Destiny. It's completely different. So I think that's what we're going to see from them. They just haven't revealed what they've been making on yet.
Doing a Bungie. That's nice.
Yeah, where you just like, look how expansive this is. It's not Halo.
I want to see that being like used now in journalism, gaming journalism. Doing a Bungie.
Yeah. Or Bungie Jump. I'm trying to think what it would be.
Bungie Jump. Yeah. There's something there. We need to work more with
They
that.
start on Halo, then they jumped off, but then they just got pulled right back to Halo. Maybe.
Oh. Yeah. Maybe not so good.
Damn it. Well, you know what? Bungee jump, that phrase, is dead to me. It's done. We're going to move on.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's jump to movies instead. And, well, the big news that people are kind of talking about, I don't think it's that big news, but, you know, there was a hubbub on Twitter, so apparently it is. But they confirmed that in Batman vs Superman, which is the Zack Snyder semi-sequel to Man of Steel 2, Lex Luthor, who is Superman's greatest enemy, I think, is going to be played by Jesse Eisenberg. I think that's...
Wait, did you say Heisenberg?
No, not that one. No H here.
Oh,
that's not my accent.
Got me excited then.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. It's quite funny that it's... it's Eisenberg, like Heisenberg, and it's Jesse.
Yeah.
It's the combination of the main two characters from Breaking Bad.
So you think it'd be really awesome, but it's not?
No. Well, when I heard this news, I don't really have an opinion on this, because when it's usually announced about these sort of things, it's like, okay, this guy was playing this character, and now we're going to reinvent it and have this guy playing it. Usually you have that original character, and with Lex Luthor, I couldn't name someone who played him and did a great job. So to me, it's like, it's still open. It's open for anyone to kind of jump in and do the character in a certain way and make it good. I don't think there's no standard for me. So I think maybe Jesse can make it work, but I don't really care that much.
That's true. Like with the Joker, everyone was comparing him to Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, weren't they? And Michael Keaton, Batman, stuff like that. I got to admit, I'm not a Superman fan. Don't like Superman really. But I will say, how old is that guy?
What, Jesse
Yeah, he doesn't seem old enough.
I think he's I don't know.
Is he old but looks young, maybe?
Maybe. I don't think he's that old, though. Because his first big film was The Social Network, and that was 2008. So that was 6 years ago. So I would guess he's 31, 2, maybe?
Yeah, he's 30, Wikipedia says.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
Yeah, very close. But I saw him in, I think it was Zombieland?
Yeah.
Which was pegged as America's version of Shaun of the Dead.
Well,
right,
sure.
Right, and I was like, oh, really? That sounds awesome. So I watched it, and it was crap. So I don't have too much faith in this guy. Just saying.
Well, I don't think he's bad. I mean, did you watch The Social Network?
No.
Well, that was a great film, and he did a really good job in it. So I'm not worried about his acting ability at all. I think he can act. It's just... Well, actually, I'm not worried at all. Superman is one of those franchises where it's I don't care. It's stupid. When you look up on the history of it, it's Superman's meant to be America against the Nazis. It was the symbolism at the time where everyone was down because Hitler was being not very nice. So then they made this, cartoon character or this comic book character where it's look at this guy, he's invincible, he can do anything, and it was a metaphor for America trying to fight off the Japs as well. So his whole backstory is that he's meant to be an invincible, just gets it done person. And in terms of storytelling, what can you possibly do with that? You can't go anywhere with it. It's boring. It's bland. There's only one outcome every time.
I really wanted to drop Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
That would have made me watch the film. I mean, I know it's playing on the whole Breaking Bad thing, and it'll just be Heisenberg. But still, it's I remember when, I think it must have been when Breaking Bad was just ending. There was those rumours, wasn't there, about him being in Superman?
Yeah, that was, he said he wanted to do it.
Yeah, that would have just... Well, I don't know if it would have been any good, but it would have been more fun, definitely.
Well, I think with that, it's just Lex Luthor is bald, Bryan Cranston's bald in Breaking Bad. Hello!
Yeah, also, Bryan Cranston's awesome. He's just, I mean, come on. And he seems more like... I get that Lex Luthor is supposed to be this genius. That's part of his character, right? I'm not entirely sure, but that seems to be the way. He's this genius that can outsmart Superman, maybe?
Yeah.
But when they're really young, it reminds me of that awful... What was that TV show? Superman? Smallville.
Oh.
Reminds me of that. I'm give me some old man who's really cool and evil, and actually you could believe he was some genius.
Well,
I'm sick of the young genius that you see on films now.
Well,
cocky ones.
The internet Facebook guy.
Yes, exactly. The ones you can a bit like Q in Skyfall, that kind of thing. Oh, I can hack at this thing from in my pajamas.
Yeah, that's a really annoying stereotype thinking about it. It's they just sit there on the laptop, it's yes. Then the old guy's oh, okay, open the door, I guess.
Yeah. I want to see some old man who's good at computers.
Yeah, you want to see just some old grandpa just typing at a laptop.
Yeah. I want to see some old man hacking away. That'd be awesome.
But no, it's I guess it's one of those things where if they're going to do something different, there was a range of things they could have done. So I guess going for the younger one it's an easy reinvention of the character, because really I don't know much about him, but I guess, like you, I think he's just meant to be a really smart, capable person. And I guess there's many different ways you could play that. And I guess that's why Jesse Eisenberg got it. Because in The Social Network, that's who he plays. He's a bit of an arsehole to everyone, but he's smart and he knows how to get things done. So if you want any sort of reference to what this character is probably going to be, it's probably going to be who he played in The Social Network.
Did you just call him Jesse Eisman?
I know it's
you
like yes, I did. I know it's like Eisenberg, but it seems I want to see Heisenberg, and then it's just I'm not good with the words.
So just shorten it, Eisman. That's good enough.
Yeah, Jesse Guy.
Jesse Guy.
Jessberg.
Well, along with Ben Affleck as Batman, they're making this because wait a minute, what is the next film? It's going to be Superman and Batman, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're making this film. I think people will just go and see it out of curiosity now. Like, how is Ben Affleck going to be? And then now they've added onto that is now what the hell is this guy going to be like?
That first trailer is just going to be crazy. Like,
oh yeah,
I could not say what we're going to see in that first trailer.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know.
All that trailer comes down to is that, like, you're going to have the epic, like, the world is Batman must be stopped, and then just one of those classic Zack Snyder shots of Superman flying and Batman looking like grrr. But then it's all going to come down to that first shot of Ben Affleck, and then that first shot of Jesse Berg. And whatever that first shot is better be damn good, because otherwise people are going to be upset.
Yeah. And this is like DC's who does DC?
Warner Brothers.
They got to do this right, else they're banking on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is like they're messing up the Avengers.
Yeah, pretty much. This is like, right, we're going to try and do something like the Avengers. We've got to do it well. And so far, you can't say they've done it wrong because we don't know, but they're certainly creating a lot of hype, and buzz, which I suppose is good.
Well, I don't want to complain too much, because I guess the major complaint would be that Zack Snyder is directing it based off his previous work, because when it comes down to the actors, we've never seen them in that sort of specific role before. Like, Ben Affleck was Daredevil, so I guess you could complain about that, but like you said, this is such like a weird mix that we really don't know what we're going to get. And, you know, if these guys are capable actors and good at what they do, we could get something really cool. It's just, I don't know, I think it's a little early to tell, although I think, you know, eventually, once that trailer does come out, people won't like it. And I think people are kind of setting themselves up not to like it right now.
Oh yeah, even if this trailer's amazing, people will hate it. This is the internet.
Well, people set themselves up to not like Man of Steel as well, like all the way up to that. And guess what? People didn't really like it. So it kind of seems like we just got to go see it for ourselves. People are biased as hell. I don't want to listen to the Twitter people just moan and bitch all the time. I want to listen to myself moan and bitch all the time, apparently.
Yeah, then listen to the podcast.
Yeah. So if it's an interesting film, then at least there's that, and at this rate, it's going to be an interesting film.
Yes. 2016? Wait a minute, 2016?
Yeah, it got delayed by a year, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, not anytime soon, then.
No.
No. A while away.
Yeah, 2 and a bit years, God.
That's crazy. Okay.
We're going to have to hear about this film a lot up for release as well.
Yeah, keep the hype train going. It's like every few months they're going to have to release something about it.
Yeah. Oh, God. Like, Robin's in it.
Just like, each one get more ludicrous, yeah.
Robin is in it and is being played by Bryan Cranston.
Yes! And then in the film, Robin turns into Lex Luthor.
Ah.
That's how it works.
A new twist.
Yep.
I think. I don't know. I don't read the comics.
No, that happened in the comics.
Oh, cool.
Bryan Cranston turned into Lex Luthor.
Which issue?
Oh, sorry, Robin. Issue 213.
Ah, 213. Classic.
Yeah. Go check it out.
It's a good read.
Don't really.
Alright, so let's move on to the last major bit of news, or we're being generous with the term major this week, but so basically Nintendo aren't doing too great right now, and they're in the process of convincing their investors and everyone that everything isn't going poorly, when really things are. I mean, my first point about everything that with Nintendo right now is that people are making out that Nintendo are like close to done, that in 6 months' time, if sales don't pick up, they're done, which isn't exactly fair. Like, the Wii U and the 3DS are two vastly different systems, and especially compared to sales and success. So it's kind of frustrating to see people be like, "Oh, Nintendo, they're on the way out," when really it's the Wii U's on the way out. Because the 3DS is like, it was the best-selling system in 2013. So for people to complain about them and say that they're done, it's just kind of ridiculous. But that's not even the news. That's just a cheeky little rant there that I threw in. The actual news is that Nintendo plan to double down on the gamepad. What they're saying about all this is that there's been some confusion about the Wii and the Wii U, that people think that the gamepad is just an accessory or just a gimmick and it doesn't matter. So what they're going to do is try and focus and add more features to it. You know, give more reasons for people to actually care about it. So the first thing they're going to do in the summer is release a patch where you can just quick load games onto the gamepad. So you just pick up the gamepad, you press a certain button, it will come up with all your games instantly, then you just hit which one you want to play, and then you can just instantly play it like that, rather than boot up the console. And you know, consoles nowadays, there's a whole process like a computer, so the gamepad's going to get rid of that. And then the second bit of thing they're going to do is DS games, where of course the Wii U is a DS, but in your it's a console, but it's a DS pretty much, where you have the main screen, which is not a touchscreen and it's just normal, and then you have a bottom screen, which is a touchscreen. So I think this is what people were saying before, like before the Wii U actually came out and people started focusing on the fact that it didn't do well. People were saying, hey, this is like a DS. So now they have confirmed that DS games are coming to the Wii U. No details, they just said they are on the way.
Oh, okay, I was about to ask, like, how? I'd assume you buy them off the store?
Yeah, I don't think they'll like do a physical release. I mean, with the Wii U at the moment, the one thing that they did one remake, and that was Wind Waker, and that's about it. Like, they've re-released games, but when it comes to porting them, they either just straight up port them, or go all in. So I'm not quite sure which category the DS is going to fit into, but I would guess it would be more... I don't even know. Like, I don't know if they would just port it straight up or do it like a big HD remake, but there's DS games on the way, so woo.
Yeah, because like I'm asking these questions, I don't expect an answer because you don't know. But
oh, don't I?
Oh well, maybe you have inside sources. But are they doing it from like this point on with DS games, or are they going to go back and do old DS games? Because if they do old ones, then how are they going to price them and stuff like that?
Well, here's the thing. He said DS games, not 3DS games. So
right.
They might go down that thing with the 3DS, but I think it's more older games that came out on the DS being ported to download or, you know, just buy the disc or whatever onto the Wii U.
Right. See, if they did it at a decent price, then that would be pretty good, because you could pick up like games that you maybe missed before, and instead of going through the hassle of trying to find like second-hand ones, it'd be much simpler, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's just great that because they could do that with like they've done that with like the NES and the SNES, and then on the Wii the N64. So they're definitely open to doing that. The awesome thing is that they figured it out with DS games. Like, who the hell would have thought that any DS game could be ported to another console? It's just kind of like the DS was so unique in the way it was put together. It's crazy that they actually then put out another console that could play them quite easily. So I'm still not sure which direction Nintendo are going to go in, because the one that would make sense is that they do the port, but they make it look a bit nicer and put it in widescreen, and they do more like you know, all those PS3 ones that we got, all the HD classics. Like, yeah. That's what they should do. But I would assume they were going to go all in and might do like trilogies of games or collection of games and go all in with remaking them. Like, we might get the 2 Zelda games put together on a disc, and then you can play them like that. Or we might get... what other trilogies? We might get like all of the Final Fantasy games on one disc and the same thing. And then we might get all of the Professor Layton games on one disc, and then you can just play them like that. But I think the closest we got so far is that I think the Ace Attorney games came to the Wii to download.
Right.
So, I guess I don't know. This is very confusing because, like with all the virtual console stuff they've done, they've just thrown out this, we're going to do this, and no details. Like, they're meant to be making GameCube games and putting them on the Wii U. They announced that before the thing came out, but we haven't seen that yet. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They haven't even done N64 games yet, so...
Wait, what? Haven't they? I'm sure I've seen it. No, I haven't actually.
No.
No.
So,
oh, wow.
So, this announcement is cool, but when it comes to the virtual console, Nintendo have been dropping the ball quite a lot within the last year, just putting out the same old games on the Wii U that nobody really cares about, or you've definitely got a copy of already, and not doing anything interesting with it, and just making these interesting announcements, but I can't really get invested in the idea of playing like Super Mario 64 DS on my Wii U and on my console because I don't know when it's going to happen or if it's actually going to happen.
But would you, if it was out, would you do that? Would you play Super Mario 64?
Absolutely. If they put the DS version, yeah, I'll be right there. Because that's the thing with the DS, there was no analog stick. So the most exciting part about this is that all the 3D games that came to the DS, you can now play it with an actual proper analog stick. So any 3D game that came to the DS, I would be interested in playing on the Wii U.
Oh god, I'm sorry.
Oh.
My phone again plagued me. But so hang on, what happens if you try and put a 3D a DS game in a 3DS? Can you not use the analog stick?
You can, but it's locked to 8 directions.
Oh, so it's not very smooth.
Yeah, so it's like programmed like the D-pad would be. So you can only, like in Super Mario 64 DS, you can like go forward or back, left, right, and then just the the other ones as well.
Oh, so alright, okay. Well, yeah, that might be quite good. What I was thinking of, like the first little rant you did about Nintendo in a bit of trouble.
Sure.
Because I know I read that story on like the top guys cutting their own salary, which is a pretty cool thing to read. To try and like I don't know if they actually did anything, but I suppose it was a good act to kind of show that they're in it as well. Or maybe it's just like an East sort of culture thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The first thing I thought was that they took those pay cuts because if they didn't, he would be voted off as president and they would just kick him off. But then I thought, it's a Japanese company. They work completely differently to Western ones, so
yeah,
it's probably not as surprising that they did that.
But the way I see it is, right, with the Wii U, Nintendo had like two options. They could, like you're saying with the story, they could really go all in and try and do stuff that people have wanted to try and save it, or could they just move on?
Well, again, I think with Japanese culture, it would be very surprising if they just moved on. Like, Sega ran themselves into the ground because they were just trying so hard to keep it going, and then they went bankrupt and had to completely change everything. So I would assume that Sega was Japanese and Nintendo are Japanese, that they would do the same thing. And also they would have to scrap all the games that they have coming out and being developed on. So yeah, they could kind of scrap it and move on and make a new console, but it's like
too expensive.
Well, too expensive, and they would have to admit that they failed and give up. And I don't think it's a very Japanese idea to just give up.
Right.
Like, I don't think they can just cut their losses. It's just not that. It's a last resort.
Okay, and so do you think then that them trying to do more things to promote the Wii U is actually going to help?
I think it's...
Or is it too little too late?
It's too little too late. The damage was done when... The damage was... I think the damage was done when it was like... It's a perfect kind of storm. It's like... It was kind of expensive when it came out. The first year of the Wii U had like some of the best games for the 360 and PS3. Because of the Wii and third-party support, they just lost a lot of third-party support for the Wii U. They called it the Wii U, which was incredibly stupid, and then they didn't really commit to either side. And then also they had to go all in with the online, because that's you've got to have online features. So they had to set up a whole infrastructure, and they couldn't really get that done. It's just like there's too many problems. It was released. There's too much, and I think personally the thing that kind of sunk it was that it was called the Wii U, and I think that name represents the whole philosophy behind the console and why it didn't work. It was very non-committal. It didn't commit to the casual people and offer a cheap, innovative console, and it didn't go to the hardcore fans because it was underpowered, and even though it was cheap, nobody cared, and hardcore people, the majority of them only care about Call of Duty, Battlefield, FIFA, and all that kind of stuff. So, and not Nintendo franchises. So even though the Wii U is cheap and has games, and a lot of great games, it no longer matters. It exists in a market where it's not tailored for enough people. So I think they're already done at this point.
There's Nintendo's failure in a nutshell.
It's just too big of a mess. Like, the only thing they can do now is just hope that the big price slash that they did for the Wii U and Mario Kart and Smash Brothers does enough to get the casual people in, because the hardcore is kind of gone.
That's true. We haven't seen those two games yet, which are going to be quite important, I suppose.
I mean, how much the Wii U sells is really important, though, because the GameCube sold 22 million in its lifetime, and the Wii U is sitting on like 5.8 at the moment. So if the Wii U can't even match the GameCube, then that's the hardcore audience gone forever. I mean, they already left on the Wii, but Nintendo will probably no longer care about the hardcore at all, because the hardcore don't care about them. If the Wii U doesn't pick up and sell. So people complaining about Nintendo not being hardcore or trying to go that direction, which I think they kind of are, but not all in. They got Bayonetta 2 and Platinum Games under their belt now, so I don't know. But yeah, I think next generation they're going to go all in with the casual, and their next console is probably going to be something I hate, and I look forward to it.
What do you mean by all in with the casual?
It's like there's that market where they will just see something on TV and just go buy it. And that's what the Wii was. People saw adverts of someone swinging their hand, and it's like, oh, it's picking it up, and the tennis, okay. So a lot of people just rushed out and brought it. And then with the DS, they saw people on TV like, oh, look, you can have a little dog on the go and stroke it and everything. And, oh, look, Brain Age, and I can do my little puzzles on the go.
Oh, God, Brain Age, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
That was massive when it came out, Brain Training. It was so big, it was crazy. So those people, but that market is completely different to the people who rushed out and brought, like, I guess The Last of Us, I suppose. And then also you got the other kind of middle people, the casual hardcore, who just play FIFA every year and Call of Duty and think they're hardcore, but really they just play the standard AAA titles and never have a thought in their head about gaming, really. So those are the three different audiences, and they need to go back to the casual, where they see something on TV, the people are like, oh, that's a pretty cool, interesting idea. They just buy the thing, they don't even really think about it, and then they just mess around with it. Oh, this is a laugh. It's that crowd, because that crowd does not care about the Wii U.
So possibly you're saying more gimmicky stuff?
Yeah, more gimmicky, and just something... Yeah, more gimmicky.
Oh, well, that's going to be fun to look forward to.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Can't wait.
I loved when the Wii came out having to play like Excite Trucks and Red Steel, and I was like, it works, I swear, this is fun, I'm having fun. I wasn't having fun.
Not even with Wii Sports Bowling?
That was fine, but I found like a trick in it to get a strike every time, and then I just kind of was done with it.
Oh, well, that's just cheating.
That's not cheating. I came up with it.
What's the trick then?
Okay, here's what you do. You go all the way to the left.
Yeah.
You put, the dotted red dot thing.
Yeah.
You put that right in the middle of where the line is and the border. and then you go slightly to the right. You got to angle it just right, though. That's the trick. You got to go you know how you can move it to the left and then like aim it to the right.
Yeah.
You aim it into about the middle, and then you twist your hand all the way around, and just flick it and let go, and it will go straight forward. It will curve round into the middle. It will be really quick because you put a stupid amount of spin on it. It will spin into the middle, hit the middle pin, knock them all over.
Well, if anyone wants to take away anything from this podcast, it's how to score a strike in Wii Sports Bowling.
It works like 90% of the time. The trick is getting that angle off the side just right, and that can be kind of hard.
Did you really play that enough to come up with your own trick for it?
Maybe.
Okay. Oh, well done. I congratulate you.
I'm a Nintendo-tard. What do you expect? I had a Wii when it first came out. I got Twilight Princess and Wii Sports. I got instantly stuck on Twilight Princess, so I sunk many hours into Wii Sports.
That sounds like something I'd do. Being stuck on games and overall sucking at them. Okay.
Well, I've now beaten it twice, Twilight Princess.
You have redeemed yourself.
Yeah, I'm not quite the pioneer, I'm afraid.
And you've also, found instant victory for bowling, so it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, everybody's happy and smiling.
Except Nintendo.
No, definitely not.
And the boss.
Okay, well,
that's it for news.
Another small bit of Nintendo news is that, because one thing that people keep saying is about smartphones and iPads and everything, and there was a rumor going around that Nintendo they planned to do something on the iPhone and the iOS, and then they shortly said, no, that's absolutely not the case, and I think the quote was like, Mario will never come to mobile devices. So, good. Quite frankly. I mean, I was thinking, it's like, you know what, that could be cool, a little Mario game on the go. But then I remembered how, on this podcast, me and you, we've hated every single step developers have moved towards mobile gaming. Because it's always bad and dumb and just a washed-down version of console gaming. So, good. I don't want them to go on smartphones. I want a full, nice-looking experience when it comes to Zelda and Mario. I don't want a little tappy-tap whatever on the go.
Okay, as soon as you said that about Nintendo and the whole mobile thing, I was trying to think of what we said in that podcast all that time ago, because we did do one on the topic of that, didn't we?
Yeah.
See, now I have to think, okay, maybe Zelda wouldn't work, but a Mario, can't you see a Mario working quite well on an iPhone?
No.
Really?
And that's the end of it.
Because I don't know, it's only a few controls. It's not even 3D.
Okay, well, you can have like a platformer, but I would much rather have an analog control stick. Like an example we can look at is Rayman, because Rayman has had 2 mobile games going alongside Origins and Legends. And of course, Origins and Legends is 10 times better than the mobile game. I mean, I guess they're being developed by different people, so it doesn't matter. But I would much rather prefer to play Legends over Fiesta Run. Like, it's not terrible. It's just it's not as good.
But wouldn't it make money though?
It probably would, yeah.
In the long run, wouldn't that be good that they would? And okay, it might not be great, but I don't know. It just seems like that would be a really interesting thing. But then I'm just completely going against what I said before, so whatever. It's
just that, well, they would have to find like a cool way of using it, but then if they found... Okay, here's the problem. You either just have it like the console games and the original ones, and then it's just not as good, or you find a way to reinvent it to make it work on mobile. And if you're going to reinvent it to make it work, then just don't use that IP. Then you're just slapping on the fate. It's like Sonic Dash, which came to iOS. It's not Sonic, it's just got Sonic in it. So, really, if they... It's like a no-win, really. If they do make an interesting game, then Mario's just going to be plastered all over it for the sake of it, or it's not going to be good.
What about, like, the old Nintendo games, though?
What do you mean, like re-releasing the NES ones on it?
Yeah, like a really old Zelda or something. I bet people would like that.
Maybe, but then it would just be a bit pointless, really.
I suppose people who would want to play those probably have already found a way to do that on their phone.
Yeah. But I'm talking about all this touchscreen stuff, but really Nintendo already did it. They figured out how to make touchscreen work in gaming. It's called the DS and the 3DS. You have the combination, you have the buttons and the touchscreen. That's how you make it work. If it did work with just the touchscreen, the DS would just be one big touchscreen. But it doesn't work. Nobody wants to play that. You have to condense it down. So everything that they could do on the DS, I guess they could make it work maybe on the iPhones, but then it wouldn't even be as good as the DS because there's no buttons.
No. That's true. Maybe. What about like a Mario game where you tilt to move?
God.
Oh, I should work for Nintendo. I'll be making loads of money for them. You tilt and then you tap to jump. You see, and that's how you move. Done.
But then that's not really Mario, though.
Yeah, it is.
No.
You can. It'll have Mario in it, and you can jump and shoot fireballs.
Okay, the only one that would really make sense is Mario Kart, and that's because they already did it on the Wii with the, you could tilt the controller. But then you would have to physically tilt the screen as you're moving.
What do you mean?
Well, you're holding, in Mario Kart Wii, you're holding the controller and looking at the screen. With the iPhone, you're tilting the iPhone and looking at the iPhone.
You'd have to move your head as well.
Yeah, you have to just go with it.
It needs work, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it should happen. Like, they could do something, but I don't like mobile gaming. It's not a secret, so any steps towards it and integrating mobile phones and making a more legit platforming, like a proper system, I hate, because all the games on there are either stupid, like, press the thing, got the high score, or it's just crap.
I suppose you could either... I suppose you have to respect Nintendo for their stubbornness. They're like, no, Mario's not coming to phones. No.
And, why would it, though? They have a 3DS where all the Mario games are. If you want it on the go and a touchscreen, why would you then put it on the phone? If they started putting Mario games on the phone and Pokemon, then they just completely undermined their own product on the market.
But then loads more people have iPhones.
But then the 3DS is like, no one's going to buy it anymore.
Yeah, well, that's alright. Then they can make a Nintendo phone.
Oh, God.
They can branch out even more.
Oh, God.
I need a good name for it, though. What could it be called?
No, I think you nailed it.
What, Nintendo phones?
Yeah.
Yes,
the
that's
Nintendo
what it's going to be
phone.
called. Okay, I should really work for Nintendo.
I disagree.
Honestly. Send me over to Nintendo. I'll turn the company around.
So you just...
or burn it to the ground. One of the two.
Either or.
Doesn't matter.
You just tilt it. It's Mario.
It's like, right, so take all our budget and make it into a phone. Get on it.
God.
I'll just sit back, having a nice massage or something. Great.
Oh, smoking cigars.
Yeah. That's it. Get me in contact with your inside sources at Nintendo, please.
I'll make some calls.
Yeah.
On my Nintendo phone.
On your Nintendo phone? You have an early access to you, prototype.
Each button you press on it makes a Mario sound effect.
Oh, yeah. And you can't turn it off.
No. It gets louder if you try and turn it off. Just like, Yahoo!
These are all my ideas. I hope you like them. Yeah.
They're all tight.
Yeah. And, yeah. Okay.
Right. So that's that then. I mean, I guess we got to move on to some more fluff news. What do we usually do after the news? Do we have a segment anymore? I feel like we did have one.
Games that are being released, usually, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like we did have one. I just couldn't really think of it.
What games are being released?
Oh. Well, we can get to that. I was going to go for some fluff.
Oh, you actually have that. Okay, so there was fluff in between that. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just anything and everything, I suppose.
Damn it.
Or was it what games you've been playing? Or is that after?
Oh, I guess we could do that now.
Go on then.
See, so the reason why I came up with a whole structure when I came up with the podcast, because I was like, hey, let's keep it all coherent and together. And then after doing it, I was like, it's 10 times better if it's not that coherent. As long as you have some, like, we're now talking about this. As long as there's a little bit of that, it's fine. And now I think we may have gone too far the other way.
So, what are you talking about now?
What's going on with these video games?
Yeah, video games, eh?
Because I think we've run out about bitching about how bad The Simpsons is, and bitching about how bad 007 Legends was, and whatever else we talk about.
Yeah, The Simpsons. I don't know what to talk about The Simpsons. We have bitched it out, haven't we?
Yeah, we just talked. The older episodes are really good, but the new ones aren't. We did it.
There you go. Condense it down into a sentence.
We should just add that on at the end of every podcast. Just add that sentence on.
Make sure we cover it every time. Yeah.
And also, Skyfall was really good. Just add that in there as too.
Yeah, Skyfall, James Bond. Yeah.
The Avengers
Simpsons.
suck. Put that on.
Borderlands 2 or something. I don't know. Oh no. Was it BioShock? What don't you like? Something that you don't like.
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Shove that in there. Yeah, shove it all in.
I was watching this video though. You know, Zero Punctuation.
Yes.
Well, he does like Let's Plays now and
Oh.
that sorts of things. Or he's done it for a while actually, about like 2 years. And he has this guy on there called Gabriel who he does it with, or Gabe for short. And he was saying how he really liked Marvel and the direction they've gone in with the films because they've allowed for creative stuff to happen. And I was thinking, what a load of old bollocks. That's not true. Like, it was true when they came up with the whole, universe thing. Where they're like, we're going to do all these different films and link them together. But now they're completely done. Like, after Iron Man 2, after like the original Avengers came out, and now what they're doing is the exact same thing again, and just churning out sequels, and just keeping it very safe and standard. So, I don't quite get where that guy was coming from, saying that Marvel are creative when it comes to their films, because I think they're now in a complete rut, now that they've done their expanded universe thing.
As long as they keep doing some, minor or sometimes major comic book villain or character, then the nerds will be happy.
I guess, but I don't get...
It's not creative though, I agree.
Yeah, I don't get... He used the word creative, and I guess a lot of people got to agree, because the Marvel films don't get any hate. Thor 2 was horrendously average. Iron Man 2 wasn't very good.
Oh, I watched Thor the other day,
Oh,
the first time.
The original?
I thought it was pretty... Yeah, the first Thor. I thought it was quite dull.
It's alright.
It was quite dull. I liked Anthony Hopkins. That's it.
Yeah, the Thor films, there's not much to say about them. Like,
No.
The second one wasn't as good. There was a couple of funny jokes in there, but there was a lot of jokes in there. Some of them had to hit. And that's about it.
Well, that's the thing, right? After I watched it, the first thing I thought was, a lot of that comedy kind of hinged on the fact that Thor was, in a different place, and the jokes were like he didn't quite understand, he didn't fit in. How the hell did they make jokes in the second film?
Oh, it's the people are stupid and don't know what's going on.
Really? Because it seems like they've lost all their kind of, ammo to use as jokes.
Well, all the human people,
Uh-huh.
they're just all played for laughs for all of 4-2.
Humanity.
Yeah, we're just stupid idiots.
Those guys.
What are we doing?
Right.
And it just wasn't very good. And it also had Doctor Who guy as the main villain.
Oh, was that what he was in?
Christopher something.
I thought he was in the new Avengers film.
No, he played the Dark Elf, who was the main...
A purple
bad
guy.
Yeah.
Was he purple? Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
bad in it. It wasn't a good villain. It was just, you destroyed my people many eons ago. Now I'm going to shoot you. And that's about it.
That sounds exactly like the first film.
Yeah, that's about it. Like, I don't get why Marvel has now created this free pass where the Avengers was good and people liked it, and now it's just like they're churning out sequels and they're not good. They're not good sequels. Like, okay, let's break it down. Iron Man 1, good film, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Incredible Hulk, even though Marvel have completely dismissed it, I thought it was good.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. Yeah, it was okay.
Okay, the next one was... I I want to say Iron Man 2, but I can't. It might be Captain America.
Captain America?
Oh, yeah, we'll say Captain America.
I think so.
That film was enjoyably stupid.
I haven't seen the first one, so I can't comment.
Well, you know the guy, Smith from The Matrix.
Yeah.
Well, he plays the lead villain, where he's a Nazi, as in, they don't say Nazi, but well, actually they do, but he's not like a proper Nazi, but he is a Nazi, pretty much.
Does he have a German accent?
Not really. I don't think so,
Oh.
anyway. And he plays a Nazi who, like, shreds his face, and it's all red.
Ooh.
And it's called Red Skull.
Oh.
It doesn't look
Isn't that
grim, it's just stupid.
Isn't that someone from Batman?
No, that's apparently Captain America's main thing. It's Red Skull.
Oh, I must be getting mixed up with another skull.
Maybe.
There's probably quite a lot of skulls. Black Skull?
Yeah, that's in Arkham Origins. I think that was...
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Okay.
No, it was Black... Oh, I'm not sure. It doesn't matter.
White Skull? Grey Skull? No, wait, that's him. Oh, God.
No.
Too many skulls.
I think Blue Skull, that's actually a football team, and that's their nickname.
Is it really?
No, but I wish.
Oh. That'd sound cool.
That would have been
Yeah.
a nice tie-in.
Yeah.
Okay, so Captain America, not that good. It was like kind of enjoyably stupid, but it's stupid. It's really dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 2, not good. Just...
That's the one with Mickey Rourke, isn't it?
Yes. Mickey
Yeah,
Rourke was good in it, but it just wasn't good. It was just like a whatever, I don't hate myself for seeing it, but I would never see it again film.
Was he that good in it?
He was alright. I mean, it's Mickey Rourke. He was kind of a bit... I thought it was
He
alright.
just smashed stuff around. Okay, yeah. Alright.
Yeah, it was fine, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then 4, which... dull.
Kind of dull, but yeah, passable.
Yeah, passable, I guess. And then I think they got to the Avengers next, which...
Oh, quickly remind me of this, because the ending of Thor,
Sure.
they're stuck at Asgard because they broke the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
How did he get back in Avengers? Because I can't remember.
I had the same thing, because I watched the Avengers, then 4, then I asked someone, and they were like, oh, they don't really cover it.
Oh, okay then.
Because
Fine.
the beginning of the Avengers is Loki just teleporting to Earth. And it's like, I guess that happened.
Well, he got banished at the end of Thor.
Yeah.
But then but then he broke the giant Pokeball shooting thing. So
Which, in the Avengers, didn't matter at all. He just came back.
yeah, because he just came back.
Yeah.
So great.
Awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice continuity.
So yeah, their whole big push is about continuity and keeping it all together. But no, not in that case though.
No.
Right. So then you had like the Avengers, which people liked. I thought it was a big waste of time, but people liked it.
We know what you thought.
You know me too well. Right then.
I thought it was alright. Passable again.
Then after the Avengers, it was Iron Man 3.
Haven't seen.
Haven't seen it. I think it did alright review wise, but haven't really seen
It did very well money wise.
Yeah, money,
Like,
biggest film of
crazy
the
well.
year.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Very well.
Suck it, Despicable Me 2.
Yeah, you should have got minions. You suck everywhere.
And then the latest one is 4-2, which wasn't very good. So we got, what, 2 good films?
Right, hang on, one of them was Iron Man. What was the other one?
The Incredible Hulk,
Oh,
which is the one they just dismissed afterwards.
yeah. They just owned that one.
So it's
Are they going to make another one? I wonder.
another...
Hulk film.
Oh, yeah, apparently there's rumours they're going to make a new one to get, so Mark can have his own film, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that'll come until after the Avengers 2.
No. But
So, okay, say
Yeah,
the Avengers
done.
as well, I'll be fair. So that's 3 good films out of 8.
honestly, it's the nerds. They love it.
I don't get it, though. Like, the nerds pick stuff apart. They should be like, oh yeah, these films are now just horrendously mediocre at best.
Well, what I think they've done quite well. I don't know. I'm not a nerd, although I am kind of, but not comic. I'm not a comic nerd.
No.
So, but but apparently maybe they get. We just said they don't do continuity well, but I think they get a backstory quite well, maybe.
Sure.
And like they get kind of little characters, so maybe that's what they've got going for them. Like finally, a film's kind of knows what it's trying to tell.
Yeah, but it
maybe.
doesn't really though, because like we said, the whole 4 thing, like they don't acknowledge each other's continuity. Like with 4-2, he's just back, and they barely even mention the Avengers and all that took place. Like, a lot happened in the Avengers. Aliens tried to take over the Earth, but it gets like a 2-second mention, and that's about it. And then Natalie Portman...
What were the aliens in Avengers as well? I completely... Like, what the hell were they?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
They were just aliens from a generic dimension. It was just like... I think when Loki was banished, he was like, hey, can I have your alien army? And that guy was like, sure. And then that's about it.
But Thor was directed by Kenneth Branagh. He's Shakespeare guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did like Much Ado About Nothing and Hamlet and stuff. I was very surprised at that.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's just a random thing. I was surprised to see his name at the end of the film.
Yeah, they get the people behind it, but I don't know. I don't get it. Like, Captain America 2 also looks really bad. Like, Captain America is so uninteresting. At least Superman is, like, super invincible, so you can get some good action. Captain America is just like, yeah, I'm from World War II, and I'm pretty, hench.
Got a shield.
Yeah, America.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Neither do I. I'm just very confused by it all, or why... I get why Marvel do it, but I don't get why everyone goes to see every single one, and why critically they do fine. And with the fans are happy with the way it is. Really, it should have been they did up to the Avengers, and then they just stopped. Or not stopped, but slowed it right down.
There is going to be a point where it's going to be like the Call of Duty games, where people are going to start saying, oh, they're coming out too fast, and then there will be that point, I'm sure, it's just not yet.
Yeah. We have to. I guess people are like, "Oh, the Avengers 2, oh." So if that one isn't good, then people are going to quickly turn.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh, so when's it coming out? Avengers 2 next year?"
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, see, that's not that long, really. Man, that's a lot of films in that amount of time.
Yeah, but I don't get. It's like if I was like, "Hey, let's have a Marvel marathon where we watch all the Marvel films," people would just quickly leave. It's like halfway through Captain America, I'm going to say, or Iron Man 2, people would just be like, when are you going to show the Avengers?
Yeah,
6 hours, I'll come back then.
Can we skip the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, there's our bitch about the Avengers and stuff.
Yes.
Once again.
Can add that to the end of the podcast.
Gotta have it. And it's there.
Nice. Alright, so let's move on to what we've played. Is that a new segment? I mean, we've been doing that, but I haven't...
I don't know, you've always asked that question, so I assumed it kind of was.
Well, I always asked it for a laugh, because I always knew you would say not much.
No, not much again, no.
Is that your...
I mean, I've bought games ready to play now.
Nice.
Like games that I will play.
Well, you streamed last night, Nightfire, so... What did you think of Nightfire?
It had a better storyline than Bloodstone.
Oh, burn.
Of the 3 levels I played.
Suck it, Bruce.
Yeah, whatever your name was.
Bruce Eisenberg.
That do. I think the lack of Pierce Brosnan though is just awful.
I never noticed it as a kid, because when I was a kid I was like, wow, that actually looks like Pierce Brosnan. They did a great job there. But I didn't really think about the voice.
I suppose, was this the one before Everything or Nothing?
Yeah, the one before it.
And that's where they got his voice, right?
Yeah.
That's where they went all in. So, that was a bit of a shame. It kept on... I couldn't really get into it very well, and it was this really just generic action movie voice.
Oh, you're going to have a great time with Agent Under Fire.
Don't say
They created a whole new Bond. That doesn't look...
There is.
Yeah, it looks a bit like Timothy Dalton, most of all, but it's not him at all, and it wasn't meant to be.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, no, but I thought it was alright. I didn't... I don't know, the aiming... I suppose it just hasn't aged well, but I didn't quite like the aiming.
Well, here's
so
the
much.
thing with Nightfire and why I really liked it. It took so many cues from GoldenEye 007. Like, Nightfire is the closest sequel we'll get. Actually, The World Is Not Enough, probably, but Eurocom made The World Is Not Enough the game and based it on GoldenEye, and then obviously it was critically acclaimed, The World Is Not Enough, and people liked it. It just didn't have the same impact, which is why people don't talk about it. So then when it came to their turn, because I don't think they made Agent on Fire, I think they went straight to Nightfire, they then were like, okay, it's going to be the next gen version of what we did with The World Is Not Enough. So that's why you get small things like being able to aim like that, and the aiming the way it is, because it's supposed to be a bit looser, because it's based off GoldenEye, where you only had one analog stick.
Right. Yeah, it just felt a little bit weird, but I got you. Once you get into it, I suppose it's fine. The checkpoints, though, bloody hell!
Oh yeah, they don't mess
Some
around.
of those checkpoints are a bit rough.
Yeah, there's a checkpoint every time there's a loading screen.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there's got to be a checkpoint this part. No, die, crap. But I enjoyed it. It was quite good. Yeah.
Well, for me, I think that works because there is a kind of slight old school design with FPS when it comes to that game, so it doesn't annoy me as much when they don't have as nice checkpoint systems.
I think it probably would have annoyed me less if I wasn't streaming.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again for the people there. I think if I was just playing it normally, it would have been fine. Because I actually quite enjoyed... I think the thing I kept getting stuck on was this racing section.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I was actually really getting into it. Like, I will do this. And it made actually think about what I was going to do. And I quite like that. It's just I didn't want to keep doing it for people watching.
Yeah, that was quite interesting, that game. I kind of forgot. It has that old school mentality where part of it is memorizing the level and getting to know the level. It's not designed for you to be able to be the first time you encounter it, which is something that is not true anymore. You don't have to learn anything about a game. You just play it for 8 hours and blaze through. It's like, oh, well, there we go, that was that. But back then it was like, if you didn't memorize a section and familiar, you in your head you had a map of a level you were stuck on, where it's like, okay, that guy's there, so I can shoot that guy, then I can go around like that, and I think that's something that's really cool, and I really like about Nightfire.
Yeah, it's like on that Japanese level, walked in there, boom, someone shot the civilian. I'm like, okay, then I've got to know not to do that next time.
Yeah.
Now I know.
It's why I don't think Dark Souls is that revolutionary or awesome, because it just brought back something that already existed and took it to the extreme to point it out to people. But you could go back and play Nightfire and go through the same process, and it's not as stressful or frustrating or generic.
So you're saying Nightfire is as good as Dark Souls?
It's better than Dark Souls. I love Nightfire.
Better than Dark Souls. Okay then.
For me, that's one of the best James Bond games. Like, one of the standout ones for me.
Does it get good at? Does it get? Are there some really fun levels?
Yeah, I would say it ends in space.
So I stopped at that Japanese level. Are there really good levels afterwards?
Yeah, like there's a whole stealth level where you have to break into an office and do that. No, you get a tranquilizer gun, so you can just shoot them like that.
Oh, so I can shoot people. Okay,
yeah.
Good.
It's really fun.
All right then. Okay, cool.
And it's quite funny because you didn't save.
Oh my god! How did you remember that, you sneaky guy?
I left a comment in the chat, just no one acknowledged it, and I guess you were playing when I typed it, but you did not save. You chose no.
Oh crap! No, I didn't have any space on my memory card. Oh well, I'll be playing those levels again then.
Yeah. Well, you're a master at them now.
I know. I'm off like the back of my hand now.
That's right.
Exactly. Yep. Jump on that door and then do a bit of yeah. I know it.
And also, when you replay that snow level, there's 3 ways to get into that opening bit. There's
like different paths?
Yeah, there's the way you did it, which is just shoot everyone and walk through the front door. There's the way that I think Enforcer Dad said, where you jump in the lorry and the lorry drives in. And there's also a 3rd way where you know where that bridge is at the beginning?
Yeah.
You go left of the bridge and you can sneak past all these different windows and break in round the back. And that's how you do it stealthily.
That's cool.
Mm.
I did not. No, that's really good. Do it all different ways. That's nice.
Yeah, you get a Bond moment for going that way because you just have to. It's the stealthy way to do it.
Got to get those Bond moments.
Oh yeah.
Got to get them. Yeah.
But Nightfire is also really cool because it has that GoldenEye-like design where it's not a linear level; it's one big area. In a way, like it is linear because obviously you have to go to certain points at certain times, but at the same time it is a big open map, and that's something GoldenEye did, and that's something I like. You know, I like that they went back to that for Nightfire because in Bloodstone and the other ones, it's just walk through the level and get to the end. It's not one big open area.
Yeah, that's true. Like yeah, when I was in that first level in the castle bit, I didn't expect to have to kind of backtrack and stuff like that. I was just expecting to go one way and then shoot those people. So that was a nice little surprise.
No, it's great. I'm a big fan, and I'm glad you finally played it.
Yep. Now it's got the crap Bond games to play.
Goody. Agent on Fire is not bad, but
Rogue Agent?
It is what it is. I mean...
Okay, so that's bad, right?
It's okay. It's not as bad as the people said it was, though. But
no,
because I played it recently to do the review of it, and I was like, this isn't as terrible as people said. It's just not Bond in any sense of the word Bond.
Right. Okay.
Just sometimes Goldfinger's like, go over there, and that's about it.
Oh god, yeah, that's the one with that, isn't it? Oh.
And the game opens with a cutscene of Bond dying, as like Pierce Brosnan being crushed by a helicopter.
Crushed?
Yeah, you don't see it though, but that's what happens.
Okay.
He's hanging, like, the helicopter crashes, and then he's like hanging onto it, then he lets go, and then the helicopter falls down on top of him.
Alright. Oh, something I want to ask.
Ooh.
In GoldenEye, is there like a hit with gun button?
No. You get your hands out and go...
See, that seemed... I don't know why. It must just be, where games have changed. But I really wanted to. It felt really weird when I was like, up close to someone and still shooting. I wanted to just whack them. But I couldn't.
Well, Time Splitters had that, didn't it?
Yeah, that's probably where I want to get it from. It's like just, little hit with the butt of the gun, but nope.
But Time Splitters 2 has a lot of those same FPS philosophies as well, where it's got the aiming like it is, where you can't properly aim at someone if they're right in front of you, so you have to be stealthy. It kind of forces you to not just run in and shoot everyone. It just doesn't work out.
Especially not on the Neo Tokyo level.
No.
No, you have a bad time if you try that.
Especially in co-op.
Oh no. Can you imagine? No, okay, yeah. Co-op, that's bad. I remember that. It's bringing back whole memories. Don't even get me started.
You should record yourself just playing that level. If you thought I was bad at stealth because of all the games I've played with stealth in...
You just want to make fun of me.
No,
I'm not playing it. I refuse.
Damn it.
Next stream I'll play it.
The whole stream.
Yeah, it's just that one level.
Because you also had to learn that area as well.
Yeah, where she was going to go. Damn woman.
It was like, she's going to go left or right, I don't know. Oh, she's seen me. It's done.
Or the cameras. I always forgot about the cameras. And
you used to have to think in FPSs.
I know, those were the days.
It's craziness.
Although, not thinking's also quite good.
Well, I like the Call of Duty games, so I like either. It's just... I do like the way they were, FPSs.
You're just old.
I just like too many things. That's my problem.
Well, listen back to the podcast and then think about that.
Maybe.
What have you been playing recently?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we might do a new section called Games I Buy or Games I Brought because I was hungover. And this week, when I was hungover, I brought Mortal Kombat, the reboot.
Alright, it's just like play with mates and stuff.
Yeah, because my mate brought it, because I don't really play fighting games, really, but he just brought it. It was like, I got Mortal Kombat! And I was like, that's awesome! I was like, wait, I don't play fighting games, apart from Smash Brothers. And the last fighting game I owned was... Never. I don't think I've ever owned one, if I'm being honest.
Right.
So then I was like, okay, I guess I'll play it. And then we spent like the whole day learning the game and learning all the different things you could do and just messing around with it. And I was like, this is actually really cool. So I saw a brand new copy for £7 in HMV. So now I have Mortal Kombat.
Did you play with like the proper arcade thing?
Oh, what, the
just
stick?
Yeah.
No, that's a bit of a price commitment.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. They are quite expensive. So, what, you actually kind of learned all the moves and stuff?
Yeah, that's what put me off with fighting games. It's like, I'm not going to just remember all of them. But then once you kind of do, there is like a satisfaction in like, hey, I managed to do that combo. Like, there is a satisfaction in remembering it all and then having it all play out the way you want it to when you're actually fighting. So I do kind of get the appeal of fighting games a bit more, and I'm still not amazing at it, but I'm starting to get a bit more into them. Mortal Kombat, it's a pretty good game.
Plus, the gruesome deaths are always quite fun.
Yeah, fatalities.
Even if you suck, just, that's kind of like a little perk.
Well, the cool thing with Mortal Kombat is that there's a mode called Test Your Luck, where at the beginning of the game you have like a roulette wheel. No, not. You just have a wheel that you like spin, and then you get 4 like effects in that game, and then you can have magnetic floor, which is where you just get locked into position sometimes. You can have narcolepsy, where if you get it, you just fall asleep sometimes. Floor of flames, where there's just fire sometimes. Meteors, and there's a headless mode where you just don't have a head. There's an armless thing. So you just get 4 random ones of these, and then you just kind of play it and just try and see where it goes, and it gets a little crazy. So that was a lot of fun, and I didn't really expect to see it in fighting games or something like that in a game like Mortal Kombat.
That does sound fun, especially if you're drunk.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that. That'll be next week.
Yeah, there you go. And then you'll be hungover to buy another game.
Yeah, it's like, what's this? A Street Fighter?
It'll be just a vicious circle.
But the reason why I buy games when I'm hungover is because I'm just no good. Like, mentally I'm no good, but I don't like being in bed all day. Like, I need to kind of go out and get some fresh air, but the only place to really walk to is HMV. So I just walk to HMV in like this weird state where I'm like half awake.
Are you like the regular who the people who work there know and try and avoid? It's like, oh, he's back again.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I'm just wearing like the worst clothes or clothes from the night before, and I just stink. And because it's like a Saturday or Sunday, there's kids everywhere because that's the popular day, and it's in a shopping mall. So I'm just there, just at the 360 games. Like, oh, Mortal Kombat, Kingdom Hearts. Oh, it's got Goofy in it. And I just buy it, and I never have money because I spent it all the night before, so I just give them my debit card and just like, I don't read the number, just type it in and just leave, and then I go home. And like with Kingdom Hearts, I went home after buying it, just threw it on my desk and went to bed and fell asleep. Then I woke up 2 hours later, I was like, why do I have Kingdom Hearts? I'm like, oh,
it's the Kingdom Heart fairy.
Yeah, that damn Kingdom Hearts fairy. Square Enix coming in my house.
What? That's weird. That's like some kind of... almost like you're sleepwalking.
Yeah.
You have no memory of it.
Well, I do have a memory of it. It's just weird to kind of, go from a useless state to then sleeping it off and waking up and being like, oh, okay, I'm not feeling too bad now, and just seeing like wherever I went and got on my table.
So actually it's like a little surprise every time.
Yeah, but so far it's been Kingdom Hearts and Mortal Kombat, like the most 2 different games. So I guess it is a nice surprise so far, because I like both of those games, but I have a feeling one day it's going to bite me in the arse.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of game what would be your nightmare game to wake up to then?
Did the Avengers have a game?
I was thinking of that. They must have had a game. What about the Lego one?
Oh god, yeah, like Lego Harry Potter, if I woke up to that.
Lego Avengers.
Oh god. No, actually Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah, that one.
It's okay, that one. That's not too bad. Because it's an open world game.
Okay.
So it's a bit different.
So you just want some awful movie tie-in. But actually you don't, but...
yeah.
Nightmare.
But I don't have any, like... because you bought those PS2 games, so I'm guessing you have like a second-hand PS2 game shop near you?
Oh, CX. It's just an awesome shop. Don't know if you've heard of it.
No, can't say I have.
But they have like really old games in there now, so yeah, that's good.
See, I want something like that, but that's where I would go when I'm hungover. Just on PS2, if I see a cover of something that's kind of, it looks really dumb, so I'll buy this.
Yeah, that'd be... You would spend a lot of time in there, I'm sure. It's a great place.
Yeah. Gotta get one near me.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Or move.
Hey, or that, I guess.
Or that.
Rather than do an email campaign. Come to my town!
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. And if you don't find a game, they have like DVDs and stuff there as well. So you walk out with something, I'm sure.
Yeah. I could finally get Aliens, because I've been meaning to see it, but I haven't picked it up yet on Blu-ray, so we'll wait and see.
Oh, yeah.
Although, if my bet, if I'm right with the Super Bowl, maybe I'll go and pick it up.
Maybe.
Because I'll get...
this is when you listen back to this, when do you edit it?
Straight afterwards.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's alright.
But I don't listen to it,
afterwards.
I listen to like 10 seconds.
You'll reach that point, you think, oh. Or you think, yes!
Nice.
Either one. With all the money in your hand, like waving it about. Flash the cash.
Can't wait.
That's an alternate universe at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
We will see. Right, so
yeah.
I don't know how long we've been going on for, but I think we should wrap it up with recent releases. Woo.
Okay. Woo.
Only 2 on the list, and next Friday, Fable Anniversary finally comes out, which is the HD remake of Fable 1 on the 360.
You've been looking forward to that, right?
No, not really.
Oh, someone has, maybe, I don't know.
Well, I like Fable 1, but I'm not too fussed about going back to replay it. So I'll probably get it later on in the year when it goes down in price, but I'm not fussed about rushing out day one and spending all my lovely money on it.
No. That does seem a bit weird to do that, because it would be quite cheap. I suppose it would be nice to have the better graphics, but anyone who's going to get that would like the game anyway, so they probably already have it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get it for like £2 on the original Xbox, probably, second hand.
Yeah.
It's pretty popular, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is a film. Decided to add films to this.
Oh.
Do you want to guess what comes out next Friday?
Godzilla.
No, that's...
RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop.
It's RoboCop. Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Yes! I'm going to see that just for Gary Oldman.
Really?
No, not really. It looks awful.
I do want to go see it, though. But it does look really bad.
It's PG, isn't it? Or is it 13?
Yeah, PG-13. I think it's a 12 over here.
Yeah.
I don't know. RoboCop...
I mean, that's not... don't want to judge it by that, but I'm sure like the director or someone who's involved with it gave a interview a few years ago and said, I could never imagine the film being a PG-13. And yet here we are.
Well, yeah, it's a childish idea. So I'm not surprised that they wanted to make it so children could see it.
But you know what people are going to do? People who have seen the first one, they're going to go watch it and go, oh, there's no blood, or oh, there's not enough blood, or oh, it's too kiddie. Oh, that's exactly what's going to happen. But
RoboCop for me is another one of those franchises where it's a dumb franchise, so it doesn't really matter what they do with it. It doesn't matter. Like, it's why I don't care about the Transformers films. Transformers is a really dumb, childish franchise, so it doesn't matter if the films aren't amazing. So with RoboCop, it's like it was a very 90s. I think it came out in the 90s.
RoboCop, I thought it was like 80s.
Okay, well, say 80s. But it was a very of-the-time idea, so a remake was kind of a dumb idea, but at the same time, they're not hurting any major franchise by making a reboot, so there's a small chance it'll be good, so screw it.
It was 87, right? Mm-hmm. And I think you're on something with the Transformers link, because it's the same thing. It's going to be, to us, we don't care. But to people who saw it when they were younger, like Transformers, where it was part of their childhood, they're going to be the ones who will complain.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to.
All really love it.
They don't have to like it. It's just to be upset by it, or to be like, how could they do this to my half man, half robots cop man? No. What have they done? It's just a little ridiculous.
Oh, it's more going to be like, what have they done to my childhood?
Yeah. Oh God.
They've ruined it.
Yeah, it's done. You didn't have one.
No, gone.
Screw you, Michael Bay.
But you know, if Gary Oldman is any good in it, I might go see it. Joe, of course he's going to be good in it. It's Gary Oldman.
Yeah, Gary Oldman is a bit like Liam Neeson, where they'll they're good, but they will also star in anything. Like, they come across as very work-focused actors, where they will do their best in their film, and the film might be awful, but it doesn't matter, and they don't care what they're in. They just take up film roles and do a good job, and if the film's good, great. But if it's not, then that's just they worked and they got it done.
Yeah, there's actors that are doing it for the art, and it's going to be such a great film, and Oscar this and whatever. And there's actors that just probably want to get money and have something to do. So it's like, yeah, I'll do that. It's fine.
Yeah. But I don't see those two actors as like sellouts or anything. They're just working people. No. They like to work.
Well, like Nicolas Cage, what about him? Was he a sellout?
Well, he was never good. So
he was funny good.
Yeah,
that counts.
That's
right?
bad though.
Well, no, Nicolas Cage was good. Face Off was good.
Maybe not though.
I watched a review of someone doing a review of that film recently. I forgot just how crazy that film is.
Is it Nostalgia Critic? Because he just recently did it.
Yes, it was. Actually, I think he's doing Nicolas Cage month, so I've got to watch more.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's random. I'm sorry. You want to end?
Yes, let's end it off. But let's end on the note that Gary Oldman is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
no one can disagree with that.
No. Okay, well, I should really get a timer up because my laptop screen's gone black, so I can't see what the time is. So it could be anything at this point.
I would say it's about an hour and 20 minutes.
Nice.
There you go.
I think we can call it there. So anything? What's going on with your channel within the week? Some big things I've heard.
Nah, no. Feed the Beast. I said this last podcast, and it still hasn't happened yet. But it's going to end. I told you it wouldn't. Actually, I said it will, and it hasn't. But that's going to end now. And then maybe this another co-op. But it's with this guy. You don't really want to know about it.
Yeah, he's
a bit of a loser.
Sounds like a real piece of work.
But that'll be coming up sometime soon. Mm-hmm. And then, at the moment, there's just a lot of video series flying about that need to end so I can start new ones.
Well, I think you mentioned in your stream that you're going to be doing a new solo one soonish?
Yeah. When I picked the game last summer. I haven't done it yet. So, yeah, I will do that at some point.
Nice.
Soon.
What about... Okay, I have one question. Is it a sequel or associated to your other LPs, or is it a new series you're jumping into?
It's not a sequel, but it's similar to a previous Let's Play. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not a sequel.
I think that's a nice clue.
It's a terrible clue. I don't like giving away clues. People hate me because I'm like, give me a clue. I say, it's a PS2 game. So that's not a clue.
There's a few of those PS2 games out there.
Yeah. But I only realised this because I was streaming, so I didn't actually see it in my feed. But you're doing Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
I loved that game as a kid.
I never played it.
Really?
Yeah, it was just I never had a SNES, so I just never played it.
I'll be honest, I haven't actually watched your video
yet, but piece of work.
I've had work and stuff, but I'm sure as soon as I hear that music, oh my god, that's so nostalgic. Just the music.
Oh, the music's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
But you know what? You didn't see it. You're dead to me. All right.
Oh no!
You made the list.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
It's you and a picture of Cliffy B right next to each other.
I'm sorry?
You know the guy behind Gears of War?
Oh, right. Okay, that joke's completely lost on me.
Damn it.
Right. Okay, yeah, I don't know people that much.
That's fair. That's fair play.
So I won't be in the next podcast then, because I'm dead to
That's
you.
right. No, I just won't listen. I'll have you on the Skype call, I just never acknowledge you're there.
Well, listen out for that podcast. That's going to be a hoot.
Yeah, a hoot and a half, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm doing Donkey Kong Country, and I suck at that game. It's really hard.
Do you really? It probably is, isn't it? Yeah.
I've done 4 parts so far, and I've got, I think, 4 game overs. So must be maybe 3. A few game overs.
I can't remember getting past. This might just be bad memory, but like one of the last levels I can remember playing is like No, I can't even remember. I must not have got far in that game as a kid.
Well, did you do the minecart level?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well that's the second world, so you got to the second world.
I remember snow.
Oh, I haven't got there yet, I'm afraid.
Okay, so, alright, that's not bad then, I suppose.
Cheers.
No, I mean for me, like, considering I suck. Alright. Okay.
Alright, well let's end this off. So, as always, thank you for joining me, Mr. McLuckable.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next week.
See ya.